This is the BEnergyAware Podcast. Hello and welcome back to the BEnergyAware Podcast, brought to you by Get Empowered Audiobook and Patreon. You can find a link to both in the description of this episode. Sensitive or highly sensitive, as with everything else, there are myths to be exposed. First one that comes to mind, and this is what a lot of people still think, is that sensitive means weak, fragile, overly emotional. It's actually the exact opposite. There is strength that comes with being with one's feelings and emotions. It is not a weakness. Now, I understand that if you come across a sensitive person that was used and abused and that hasn't really dealt with it yet and hasn't healed, they might come across as weak, fragile, overly emotional, and perhaps unstable. But if they are a healthy, highly sensitive person, they will give you a very different impression. The second biggest misconception that I've observed is that high sensitivity is considered a disorder by lots of people. It is not a disorder. Again, people who are highly sensitive are just different and they have different needs. The problem is in the society, not in highly sensitive people. If society is based on material things and on competing in who will have more money and influence, well, then that doesn't leave much room for anyone's needs, not just the needs of highly sensitive people. It is the society that needs to change. And the third misconception about highly sensitive people is that they process things slower and don't have a big capacity and are less productive. Well, quite the contrary. Highly sensitive people's processing ability is much greater than the average person's. Highly sensitive people's capacity is actually huge. And the key thing here, especially when it comes to being productive, is to take regular rests and downtime or alone time where one can reset and regenerate. I invite you to have a good look at your needs and then have a look around you and notice who is happy and who is unhappy, and who is healthy and who is not, and why. If we take care of all our needs and not allow ourselves to get caught in what others think we should be doing, then we will be happy, healthy, creative, inspired, and productive. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Get in touch with me through Instagram at BEnergyAware or through my website, BEnergyAware.com. Leaving a review on Apple Podcasts means a lot to me. And of course, please share this podcast with your friends. I'm Bran, your host, and I'll talk to you again next week.